Hello, everyone, and we are back with the characters and story segment for Fate Grand Order, the First Order. I always want to say, like, Star Wars First Order or some shit when I say that.
I mean, that's just because there is the First Order in Star Wars. This technically predates that, I think.
I know, but, like
Wait,
things...
no, it doesn't.
Okay,
it's 2016.
But, like, things like First Order, Old Republic, like, the Knights...
Well, there goes the phone.
Part 2, and Nick Nack tosses his phone because he didn't put it on mute. Listen, the Knights of the Old Republic, First Order, like, for some reason, all that just makes me think of Star Wars right now, and it's because there's that new thing coming out.
Star Wars Visions is so good, but that's
no, not that one. The game thing.
Oh, Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah,
that's
and
a remake of it's a remake of an older game.
Yeah, but like I've been hearing about it everywhere, so I just automatically certain things I associate with Star Wars now.
So what you're saying is I need to submit Star Wars Visions next.
No. But yeah, Fate Grand Order, First Order. So this is the first singularity for the FGO storyline.
Yeah.
And I mean, we've never really explained singularities before in any detail, I don't think. But I mean, they're basically just Grail instances.
Okay, I don't want to actually get into it because this is like Fate metaphysics and no one wants to hear that.
But they're Grail instances. They're periods in history where the Grails pop up that these people are being sent to try to get the Grails.
And it just sort of separates itself out from the timeline and sort of destroys the era.
Yeah, so this first one is actually post-Fuyuki, right?
Yes, post the events of or similar events to Fate Stay Night.
Post similar events to Stay Night.
That's why Ku is here.
Yes, but it's Casku.
And thus why there's a scene where Medusa kills Shinji.
Yeah, and Herc is here, and Altria, Saber,
but
and
there are key differences.
Emiya,
some characters are just in completely different classes.
Although like Casku, for example, but I was looking up, because I wanted to look up Kuklane, because I'm simping over him at the moment. I was looking up on the Type Moon Wiki, and I noticed that two servants are different in the movie than they are in the original. So Medusa, and it looks like there was a servant that I don't know off the top of my head who he was or if he was brand new or not. Yeah, but so Medusa wasn't there originally, right? That was
Actually, Lancer Medusa doesn't exist like that at all in the game.
Yeah.
We didn't see Assassin.
No, you don't see most of the servants.
Assassin was actually killed.
Yeah, Casku takes out two servants before the people appear in the singularity. Yeah. I'm pulling up the Type Moon Wiki so I can... Because I want to be specific about this, because I was really interested in the fact that they actually changed it slightly by... Medusa's a Lancer instead of a Rider. Yeah. Emiya and Medusa are blackened instead of being Shadow Servants.
Yes.
And Ku fights Emiya on his own, unlike fighting Emiya with everyone together. So those are the differences.
Yeah, so in the game, the servants are all Shadow Servants. They don't have any personality at all, outside of, I think, a couple. Maybe Emiya might have, but outside of him, none of them had personalities, except for Ultra and maybe Emiya.
Yeah.
But
Medusa has a personality in this, and so does Emiya.
But in the movie, they switch things over to do Blackened, which is a plot point from later Fate Stay Night stuff that we haven't covered on the channel yet.
Mm-hmm. And Ku shows up as a caster because of godly intervention, as I have learned in my Type Moon.
No.
Yes, actually.
No. So that's actually different. That I don't want to get into that because that's actually spoilers for shit way far out that just came
so
out.
Type Moon Wiki actually says it's here.
No, that's because that's what happened there.
Yeah.
In that particular, when he got summoned then.
Yeah.
Here, this is a sort of an alternate class that does have connections to who you're thinking of.
Oh, okay.
And that's why he's like that way far out there.
Yeah.
But also, here he was just legitimately a caster in that grade.
Okay. Well, so we get mostly the same servants from...
Mostly from Stay Night.
Yeah, we see Herc, we see Emiya, we see Medusa.
Most of them don't actually appear in the film, by the way.
Yeah, no, actually. I think we only see Medusa, Emiya, Ku, and Alter.
Yes.
Altria? Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't we see Stone Herc?
No, we don't see Herc at all.
Herc is mentioned, but we don't see him.
Herc is mentioned as being there, but you should probably avoid him.
Yeah, Casku tells them to just avoid Herc and go straight for Emiya and Altria, and he takes out... it names who he takes out before in the Type Moon, and it's Darius the Third and someone else.
That's who
are
it
the
was.
two that he's mentioned to
Yeah.
like explicitly take out before they appear in the singularity.
If it was Assassin and Ryder, it was Ryder Darius III, who just doesn't exist in game yet.
Yeah.
And it was Hassan
Yeah,
Sabbath.
yeah,
as
that's
the
it.
assassin.
Yeah, that's it. But so we don't. So I mean, like we've discussed, we don't really get a lot of personality from the servants we do see. I mean, they've given them some, obviously, for the movie. Like, and Emiya always has personality because he's
Emiya
just
and Ku just have personalities that are just so well fleshed out throughout the series. They don't really need it. And Altria's big, scary, corrupted villain, so you don't really need much from her either.
Yeah, and I mean...
I understand now what you mean why Altria works better as a villain rather than a protag or whatever.
Because as a protagonist, you need a fucking character arc that involves more than just... But as a villain, you don't.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's just because Ultra is so powerful, they typically they do bullshit. Like in both Fate Stay Night and Zero, she spends a good portion of the series just powered down, so you don't get to see her actually do cool Ultria stuff.
Yeah.
But when you put her in as a villain, you can just treat her as a big, giant, ominous presence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So then we meet the kind of main characters of the movie are MASH, what's his face?
Ritsuka.
Ritsuka, which is the male player character.
The female player character is actually in it.
Yes,
I
I
saw
saw
it this
that.
first time through.
I noticed
Yeah,
that
she's-
as well.
I didn't catch that any other time I watched
she's in
this.
one of the pods.
She's
Like
in one of the
other-
plots. Yeah, no, canonically she's probably in cryostasis.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
And we see MASH, who's kind of like a demi-servant?
Yes.
Yeah, and then was, what's-her-face, who dies at the end of the movie? Olga Marie.
Who was in Case Files as well.
Yes.
Although this came out first.
Yes, although she's younger in Case Files.
Yes.
The Case Files takes place long before this. And then there's the Da Vinci at base.
We actually don't see Da Vinci at
No.
all in this movie.
Okay, so that's something I know from our D&D game then, and FGO.
Yeah.
And
Roman.
who's the Roman at base?
Romani
Roman.
Archimon.
Yeah, that's it.
I just want to comment that it's incredible how the entire story plays out the way it does because two characters are morons.
Yeah.
The guy who survives only survived because he fell asleep during the briefing, so he got kicked out of the first mission.
Mm-hmm.
And if Romani had been not loafing around in the guy's room and had actually been doing his fucking job, he would have died in the explosion.
Yeah.
And everyone would have been fucked.
Yeah, so basically, I mean, the plot of the movie is that they're assembling masters to go into these singularities that they're detecting at what's the base called?
Chaldea.
Chaldea. So and that's important later. Chaldea is a word we have to remember. And there's an explosion, an attack by the bad guy. What's his name?
Lev Liner.
Lev Liner, and he like plays at being working with them at the beginning before he causes the explosion. And then so he's traveling through the singularities trying to collect grails. And so the job of the main characters, the protags, is to go and get the grails from these singularities that are showing up. And there's like 7 or 9 of them.
At the beginning of the movie, they only think there's one, and then by like as soon around when the movie ends, they're like, oh wait, there are 7 more of these fuckers.
Okay, so it's 8 total.
8 total, yeah.
8 total, yeah. So this is Fuyuki. It's the first one that we go through. And it's basically alternate universe, what happens after Stay Night, where Altria goes dark.
Yes.
And so it's basically same servants, but obviously you're fighting against them now, like more actively. And Kukas is your guide. He's taking you through and protecting you to the best of his abilities, dropping Wickermon on shit and just being all in all an OP druid boy,
Yep.
Oh, my husband.
Oh, the part where he just goes, fuck it, I'm gonna be a lancer, and he uses a staff on her head.
Yes! I fucking love that. You know why I love that more now? Because I was reading the Type Moon Wiki, and apparently he meets Lancer Ku at some point, and Lancer Ku calls him a sad, spearless boy, and he actually gets depressed from that. And I love that.
And funny enough as well, he meant like Casku before he disappears at the end. There mentions,
Please summon me
as a lancer
Yeah,
next time.
he's
actually
like,
quite-
I want my guy bulk back.
It's quite funny because in game when you complete the chapter, like right after he says that, you just get a free copy of Caster Ku.
Yeah. So MASH is one of our main characters, and it's important because we are going to watch Babylonia eventually, and I like Babylonia.
Yes.
And we see MASH, and
Ritsuka.
I care so little for Ritsuka. And I only know MASH because of the D&D game. But, so MASH is a demi-servant, and we don't know a lot about her at first.
Not at this point.
And she doesn't know her own abilities. Right? Like, she can't activate her Noble Phantasm till Cass Ku drops, like, Wickermon at her in chapter, or in the Singularity to get her to activate it, but it's not her real Noble Phantasm, so they call it Lord Caldeus. And it's basically this defensive fortress ability, which is actually really cool. Although I don't really know, we don't really get a lot of backstory on MASH.
Yeah.
You get it as time goes on, but in this first chapter, all you know is that she's a demi-servant. Everyone seems to know it. This is just the first time it actually worked.
Yeah. And you get Ritsuka, who's basically the leftovers.
He's protagonist boy.
Yeah, but he's also the leftovers. Like, he was not anyone's first choice.
He's an idiot.
Yeah.
Which I actually kind of appealing in, like, just, not necessarily for his character, but for the fact that he's just a goddamn nobody who got kicked out of the first chapter.
Exactly. And then there's Olga Marie, who's, I don't know, she doesn't have a ton of personality, and then she dies, so...
That actually brings a bit more context to the D&D campaign of why we wouldn't have been able to save her, even if we pulled her out.
Yeah, because we tried real hard. Because
Yeah.
Nick Nack has us playing through, like, an FGO campaign, and we did start in this Singularity, and we tried real hard to save her. Like, actively tried. And it just didn't work.
Being fair, if you had saved her, you just would have not seen her get incinerated.
Yeah, exactly.
She would have still died because, well, she died in the explosion.
Also, we made big boy dumb decisions and almost didn't use Lord Caldeus in this fight in our D&D game, and then almost got nerfed.
Yeah.
The way this fight plays out is the way they wanted it to play out in the game, funnily enough.
Yeah, like, we didn't do so great in the game. I mean, Vorn's character died before that, though. So.
By freaking, was it bugs?
Yeah.
Was it beetles?
Spiders.
Yeah, fucking spider killed him.
Great.
Oh, that was amazing. But, so, I mean, it is a contained story. It is the Singularity.
Yeah.
And we get not a lot of character development from the main characters.
No, but this is basically the prologue.
Yeah, like, you get more of it. For example, I know I'm mentioning it because I've already seen partly into it, but you get more in, like, Babylonia.
Oh, for sure.
And I'm sure in the Camelot movies, which I really, really want to see and have not gotten to yet. Do I have to finish Babylonia first?
No, that actually takes place before Babylonia.
Oh god, I want to watch the Camelot movies so bad.
First one you can find subbed online. Second one has not come out on Blu-ray in Japanese yet.
Yeah, so... You know, things are happening. I mean, I'd talk more about characters, but I mean, all the servants are bad except Ku and MASH.
We've covered all of the characters that appear and actually do something here. So.
Yeah, I mean...
I guess there's Lev, or Lef.
Yeah, I kind of was like, yeah, and then he was like the bad guy, and then I was like, nah, fam.
I totally called it. I was like, heckled and hide that first time.
See, I thought Roman was going to be the bad guy when I first watched the movie. Because he has, like, stereotypical bad guy kind of going on. Just, like, fucked off, ignoring shit. Or I thought...
Where were you at the scene of the crime?
No. And then I thought Olga Marie was going to, like, turn on them or something. And then it didn't end up being either of them. And I was just like, well, I'm dumb. I'm not good. But, yeah, this is a great gateway into the game.
Yeah, no, I definitely do recommend watching this over actually reading through the first chapter. The first chapter's actually kind of dry text-wise.
Yeah.
Just skip through. Just brute force through Fuyuki.
When we get to the free thoughts, I'll throw in another suggestion if you don't want to watch this necessarily, because you hear it's a little bit... The character designs might throw you off if you take a look at it, but we'll get there when we get there.
But I think, with that being said... Waifu Wars!
Waifu Wars!
Waifu Wars! Knick-knack.
Oh, motherfucker. Okay. I want to say MASH for in-game, but also I haven't... We don't get much from MASH here, so if we're going off just what's here, I'm going to go Dr. Roman. That man is my spirit animal.
Realm.
I'm gonna go MASH.
That's because you play MASH in the campaign.
Yes.
Vorn.
If we were taking everything in count, aka Rel Zeppelin as well, I would actually say Marie.
I mean, you've seen it, so you can if you want to.
Yeah, but we're only just considering this.
Well, why I excluded MASH from my personal
Not
judgment
them?
is because we haven't watched anything else with MASH for the channel.
Yeah.
Yeah, like none of them. Also, I do like to say this. Few weirdly looks like that weird animal from the Magical Girls show. I do
Madoka
not want
Magica.
the
Yeah,
name.
yeah.
Mm.
What was its name?
Oh, Cube.
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 Yeah, for the incubator. I am a simple woman of simple pleasures and tastes, and I simp for kook ass.
Really? I thought you were gonna say you simped for random skeleton number 5.
Oh God, yeah. No, okay, well, I'll save it for. Actually, no. I'll just go right now since you brought it up. That skeleton scene where they were all just chasing Olga Marie was so comedic because their sound effects were just like.
Yeah.
He almost died from the skeletons in like the D&D campaign. That was funny.
Okay, but like that only mirrors my real life disgust for the undead, even though I am a necromancer and archaeology student. Let's be honest here. I have chosen both a profession and class that are thoroughly unsuited to the disgust and hatred and phobia I have of undead things coming after me.
Yeah.
All of us ran. You're the one who wanted to stay and fight.
True. My phobia is overcome by my desire to just Hulk fucking smash everything, even when I am not a tanker class.
You don't understand how hard it is to not have her play a tank.
Like, I have turned characters who cannot be tanks into tanks. I play a necromancer in this campaign, and I am a tank.
Yes.
Like, for the humans,
Somehow.
I am a tank.
And me and Vorn here are squishlings.
Oh my
I
god, they're
always
so
end up as the
squishlings.
squishling.
I'm trying to help you guys.
That's
but
because you never play anything but wizards.
I guess since
Fuck
we're
off
veering,
and play a barbarian next time.
I did play
since we're veering
Knight.
so far into D&D, do we want to go ahead and just move on to the
Yeah.
free thoughts here?
Yeah, I'll leave you with the final thought that everyone should simp over Ku. Like, comment,
Or you can
subscribe.
just try harder, everyone.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
Ku tries the hardest. That's why he uses his spear.